So, I know All Hallows Eve has passed for yet another year, but as always, my heart and soul remain dark and full of terrors. And I just watched Hellboy the Crooked Man. So, now you're going to hear me talk about that for a bit, as the last hurrah of the spooky season, no less. It was, to put it simply, a fascinating movie. A movie I did not have high hopes for. A movie I honestly found to be compelling and creepy, nevertheless. And unlike anything I've ever seen from Hellboy before, at least upon the big screen. Unlike the veritable superhero movies starring Ron Perlman and the much maligned movie with David Harbour, Hellboy the Crooked Man is a kind of low budget horror movie. And it is good. So good that I have no doubt that it will inspire my own writing in many respects. It begins in the middle of things. None of this sort of origin story nonsense that these sort of superhero-ish movies are so fond of. We're right in the middle of the action. Hellboy it's in the 50s, I think. He's like he's in trouble. It's following a rather unfortunate encounter with a shape-shifting hell spider that leaves our man stranded in Appalachia with his rookie partner, who is really more like a scholar and an academic sort, not really cut out for field work, as they call it. Things get a little bit more complicated when they connect with this guy called Tom Farrell, who is a man. He is a man plagued by the ghosts from his own troubled past. Tom is, in many ways, the sort of main character here. He is cursed, you might say. He has been tempted by a crazy witch, a great character in her own right, and we'll talk more about her later. He's been tempted into accepting a bargain with the devil's agent on Earth, the crooked man himself, who was in life a rich man trying to profit off the American Civil War, I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Civil War, only to be hanged for all his efforts. Now he lives an undead half life, given power by the devil to collect the souls of sinners. Um, but Tom Farrell's come back with a lucky bone, supposedly enchanted with infernal magic, and he's here to break the deal that he made with the crooked man and free his soul. And my God, is it a good story? Tom is a great conflicted protagonist in his own right, while Hellboy himself is tormented by the evils of the sort of cursed Appalachian wilderness. He's given all sorts of depth, really, the kind I never really knew or expected that the character had in him. Uh, Meanwhile, Joe, his partner in this, is a compelling character in her own right, and in a lot of ways, she sort of plays the straight man to Hellboy's. Well, he's very serious, right? But very gruff and serious. But he's also freaking funny in this. He says some really weird stuff that sometimes I think adds to the tension and to the dreamlike quality of this particular adventure. It's really just well acted all around, with a very small but impeccable cast, and the writing and cinematography really more than make up for what they might have lacked in a budget. we see witches leave their own skin and walk in animal form. A shovel enchanted by the lucky bone, only to serve as a weapon of divine light and radiance. An old man is turned into a horse by the crooked man's disciple, the crazy witch I mentioned before, who is so good and creepy in this. I actually found her more just delightfully horrible and weird and engaging than even the Crooked Man himself. She could have been the main villain for all I cared. But it's a good movie. We've got spells and magic and some really effed up imagery, but with the right balance of outright horror, I think, at least for myself personally. Those coming to this for a Hereditary or a Shining or even a slasher flick are going to be disappointed, as it's not particularly scary. Um, but it does have all the trappings of good folk horror, with more disturbing implications of damnation and sin than anything even remotely resembling a traditional jump scare. But yeah, I will put this Hellboy, played very well by Jack Kesey, I think his name is. I'd put him up there if not even above Ron Perlman and David Harbour. He's just a really great character in any of his iterations, and especially in this sort of almost like Jack Burton style anthology, just along for the ride sort of way. It works really well, I think. Uh, and yeah, I just Hellboy, the Crooked Man is a great, awesome, amazing movie in my not so humble opinion, and they need to make more like this right away. Please and thank you. This has been my defense of Hellboy the Crooked Man, which I do not believe was well liked when it first came out. So, yeah, like and subscribe, or else, and take care. Bye.